Okay, I want to explain something about the overarching strategy of our Spanish program. And forget all the outdated learning methods. They don't work because if they did work, everybody would be speaking Spanish within a year or two, and we'll know that's a longer process. Now, what we do here is we break down the knowledge to 6-week segments. It takes 6 weeks to move from beginner to intermediate. It takes 6 weeks to move from intermediate to advanced. It takes 6 weeks to cover all the advanced materials, including all the 5 past tenses, etc., etc. You quadruple your vocabulary during every time frame, and then there is a final 6 weeks maintenance program where we keep rotating all the knowledge, because if we don't use it, it gets pushed in off to the back burner. And so if you haven't used a piece of knowledge for like 3 or 4 weeks, you just forget it. Our brains rewrite on that memory cell, reuse it, and then that's it. You don't use it, you lose it. That's how it works. But scientifically proven neuroscience like studies that made about the science of learning and retaining and memory. So it's all scientifically proven. And this is how we approach this stuff. So our goal is by the end of the 36 weeks, you have all the knowledge you need at your fingertips. You have all the notes, all the cheat sheets, digital downloads, lesson recordings, PDF, slides, anything you need. Your knowledge is all accessed there. But having a pile of knowledge and a bunch of papers and books and PDFs doesn't help you, because we are not a turtle. We don't carry that on our back everywhere we go. So when you actually are having a conversation at the moment in real time, you're getting stuck because you don't know what to say, how to say, you forget a word. That's how memory works. So for that purpose, we've created the maintenance plan where after 36 weeks of learning, we do another 6 weeks where we practice conversations and you actually put into work everything you've learned. Now, you've noticed that whenever you say a simple sentence or 2 or 3, right? Every time you tell me something, like what you did last night, what you did last week, if you have questions about the homework, anytime we say something that is beyond a simple sentence of I'm parked outside or I ordered the burger, anything that is 2 or 3 sentences long or more actually starts moving between different time tenses. That means that when I tell you what happened to me last night, so listen, I was sitting at this pub and I met this girl I went to school with eons ago, but it turns out she is now living 3 streets down from me and we're practically neighbors. So we've made a meeting. We've scheduled to go surfing next Friday. If you listen to my English, you're going to notice I've moved between past, present, present progressive, past tense is perfect, present simple, past simple, all those things. Now, you don't have to worry about all those labels, present simple, past simple, present progressive, future perfect, and all this other stuff. This is how they teach it in high school. Most native English speakers know them really naturally, but they don't really know how to configure them, label them, or explain them to me. I'm not a native English speaker, by the way. You can hear that in my accent. So beyond the proper grammar book labeling, present progressive, past preterite, which nobody really knows, we don't use those. So every time you say 2, 3 sentences or more, you actually start moving between different time tenses, because that's how us humans operate. Now we're going to give you all that knowledge so you can think the way you think in English and translate it into Spanish. That's the goal. I'm going to translate your everyday life into Spanish. Now that takes time to build that mental highway. Thoughts and neurons, they fire up in milliseconds. So you think really fast, right? And you mostly think in English if you are a native English speaker. And all that infrastructure in your brain took years and years to build. And so now you're going to take a few years to build that same infrastructure in Spanish. So your Spanish highway moves as fast as your English highway. Now, I'm bilingual. I'm actually trilingual. So I'm fluent in 3 languages. And my brain does that thing really, really, really fast. It's going to take you a few years to get there, and you don't actually have to get there, right? it's okay if you don't get there. You don't have to like put that really high goal, but the fact is naturally with time you will get there. The more you live here, the more you speak Spanish, the more you interact with people, Spanish, the second language becomes more natural. You absorb more words, you understand how things work, and you pick the right word. So during the first 36 weeks of lessons, we give you all the information you need. You have all the digital copies, you can download them and print them. So you have all the information accessible in your fingertips. And then the hard part comes and it's your job. It's your job to practice it. To put it in practice, you have to speak every day, speak every week, write sentences for homework practice, come to conversation classes. So only sitting here and watching me teach you isn't going to make you learn. You know, if you watch a lot of basketball games, how come you're not Michael Jordan? Because Michael Jordan put the hours of practice on the court, you didn't. He practiced shooting that hoop 12,000 times and you didn't. That's why he is a star and you're not. Same goes for golf and anything else. So it's your job to practice. The more you practice, the better it becomes. More natural, more fluent. So again, it's a lot and we don't want to overwhelm you, and it's not a commitment for everybody. Some people decide, like they discover after 6 weeks or 12 weeks, they're good. They don't want to go on anymore. They're just happy where they are, which is fine. We don't judge here. There's zero judgment. So we break down the program to smaller instruments. I told you English isn't my first language. So we break down the programs to installments of 6 weeks each. 6 weeks for the beginner phase, 6 weeks for the intermediate program, 6 weeks for the advanced program, 6 weeks for the maintenance plan. And then if you live in Mexico, you're of course going to talk to people a lot more. If you don't live in Mexico full-time yet, you know, maybe you have kids in college, whatever the situation is, it's fine. You can just stay on a low-cost, low-effort maintenance plan for a year or two. Just come to conversation classes every week, where the goal is that you speak solid Spanish for a solid hour a week, at least. It's just like a muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it. Why put all this effort and time and money into acquiring a new skill, and then at the end of it, you don't use it because you live someplace, you have nobody to speak Spanish with, you're too busy with work, life, you know, whatever life situations. And then if you don't use the language, you will lose it. So there is an advanced maintenance skill program to save that skill for you. It's on the back burner. You come once a week or twice a week, only to speak, practice. Occasionally, we will do repetition, you know, because there's a lot of subjects, so we can repeat like present progressive, past perfect, whatever the heck it is. You know, fui, estoy, eres, estaba, whatever. 10, 15 minutes repetition, 35-minute repetition if that's what you need. There's no judgment here. Again, the goal is to help you get to your goals. You want to converse with the waiters, the servers, become part of the community, build a house here, move here full-time, whatever it is you want to do. That goal is attainable. We have like dozens of people who have attained it. All of them have one thing in common. That one thing, they've put in the work consistently. Consistent work gives you the progress. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So yes, you are totally capable of achieving the goals you have. You can book a private consultation with me. Tell me about your personal challenges. If you have any memory problems, ADHD, whatever. If your schedule is so hectic, you can only meet 2 hours a week. Whatever your personal situation is, we can work it. If we can't work it, I'll let you know. I don't want to take on students that they're not going to get to the result. I only take students that have a high, you know, percentage of success. They have high chances of reaching success, have really good testimonials. I want you to go and read them. Don't just believe my words, go read my testimonials, okay? And we can get you started. Remember, 3 months from now, you can have results or you can have excuses. The best time to start something was yesterday. The second best time is today. Go have fun. Now I'm gonna go and look at how to do this. Record, stop recording. Okay, my name is Judith Miguel. I'm a specialist at teaching Spanish spoken in Mexico for native English speakers who moved to Mexico. Go read my testimonials and email me all your questions.